during his musical career, let's be clear, he was representing, like, he was a West Coast artist. He was. That's what he repped. And nobody called him out on it when he was alive.
Pin Now, shout out to my homie Cam Capone. He brought up a really good point, right?
Yeah, Capone, I fucks with your platform, Cam.
Yeah, I would love to see you on there too.
Set it up, Smack. What up?
Yo, but he brought up the point that they came out with the LA list, the top 50 LA artists first, right? And they said that they didn't have Tupac on it because Tupac's really from New York. And then,
it's so funny because they want to claim him any other time, but now
and
anyway,
then
continue.
The New York list comes out and still no Tupac.
Tupac, and we all know, yes, Tupac was born in New York City. He was a kid in New York, then he moved to Baltimore, so he was in high school for Baltimore and all that. And then I don't know if he moved to the West after high school or maybe during high school he moved
during
to
high school. He moved to Marin City.
So during high school he moved out there.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, I don't know. End of the day, what he repped in his music. Now he did say, like, he referenced New York even before the drama and bullshit. He referenced New York in a bunch of his old records. Yeah, he referenced New York. So, but he was not, even though he did Above the Rim and Juice and all that. During his musical career, let's be clear, he was representing, like, he was a West Coast artist. He was. That's what he repped. And nobody called him out on it when he was alive. The nigga literally joined the fucking West Coast gang and died then banging. When they ask you where you from, and you from out there, he gonna say where he from. So that means he's from, you know what I mean? So yeah, he wasn't born in the West, and I'm not from the West. You feel me? I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. But it's like, they didn't have no problem with him being a West Coast artist that whole time. So why now it was like, oh, he was from New York? Like, bro, he repped the West Coast musically. Yeah, we know he's from all over the place. Yes, New York. Yes, Baltimore. Yes, the Bay and LA. Like, that's four completely different places. Like, the Bay to LA is like, it's like people from out here don't realize the Bay and LA are completely different worlds. You feel me? And then New York, and then Baltimore, like, that motherfucker was confused. So he had to, like, as far as like, those are all extreme, such extreme differences in neighborhoods, terrains, just the way of life. So, but he was a West Coast artist, man. We all know he wasn't born out there. Ain't nobody, but come on, man. When he was doing California Love and all that and screaming MOB, none of y'all said, yo, he ain't from here. Y'all was loving it. Come on, man. So he not from the West? Come on, man. I mean, he was a West Coast artist. Yes, wasn't born out there, but when he was out representing as an artist, he was representing as a West Coast artist. At first, he was a Bay Area artist, and then after he came home, he was an LA artist. Because at first, Diddy Underground, all of that. So he was more in the Bay Area, kind of pro-black, all that cool shit, when that was the trend of hip-hop. You know what I mean? And after all the drama and all that, when he came back home, he went straight to LA, fucking with Suge and all of them. And he probably lived out there about a year and a half, but that was him a year and a half of his fucking career. So I mean, that's just weird to me, man. Like, I mean, he represented his artistry mostly as a West Coast artist. So I mean, why not put him on that list?
What we have to remember too is that so much of Tupac's music came out after he had died. So it seemed like he was repping the West for way longer than he really was, in a sense, right? Think about how many albums came out after how many years of we hearing him say, LA and West Coast and everything like that. So it just felt so much more like you're saying, like he was a West Coast artist.
Yeah.
So he definitely deserved to have been on a list for LA or something like that, And
it's crazy when you think about it. Like, his whole career was like 5.5 years, yo. Son came out in like 1990, and then he was dead before the end of 1996. That's crazy. So all of that, all of these movies, all of these songs, all of these verses, all of that shit was within a small period of time. And in the midst of that shit, you made a bid in the midst of that shit. So all of that prolific output was like 3 years. All that shit we seen the pot for the most part was like 3.5, 4 years of work. That is insane, bro. That's insane, yo. That is insane, bro.
For sure.
That's fucking crazy, bro. Like, that's why people still mention him today, bro. Like, that is amazing when you think about it, man.
But that's why, like, when you say something like that, that video of him in the studio where he's talking about, we ain't got all this time to be spending on one record, you know, you can leave it for the engineers to mix it after the rappers leave and stuff like that, for those that like to listen to the baton and catch the right beat and everything, you know what I'm saying? But like, he really was operating on that kind of time, like where
Yeah.
he was just getting done so
It
much.
showed. It showed,
Yeah.
man. His work ethic is unmatched, yo. Unfucking matched, yo.
That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah. Shout out to Pac, man. Like, you know,